Okay, so how would you prove that point A and point B lie on the circle with this equation? This is the equation of the circle. How can you prove that these 2 points are on that circle? Yes. We're going to substitute the coordinates. We're going to plug in the coordinates for x and y, and we're going to see that the left side, does it equal the right side? If it does, then yes, it would be a point on the circle. Okay, so I've plugged in x and y for coordinate A. We're doing A first. So instead of writing x, I'm writing 10 squared. What's 10 times 10?
100.
What's 5 times 5? What's 100 plus 25?
125.
Okay, so we know that point A does lie on the circle. We have to see if point B lies on the circle. So same thing, write the equation of the circle, and we're going to plug in x and y. So x is 2, so it's 2 squared. This is where some of you went wrong on the quiz. Y is negative 11. You need to put it in brackets because it's negative 11, all of that squared. Negative 11 times negative 11 becomes a negative or positive? Positive. So 4 plus negative 11 times negative 11 is positive 121. If I didn't put the y in brackets, then I would have got negative 121, which does not equal 125, right? So you have to make sure you are squaring everything. So what is 4 plus 121? Okay, so yes. We've proved the first part. Point A and B are coordinates on the circle. We're given the equation of the circle. X squared plus y squared equals 125. From this equation, what can you tell me about the circle? Yes. So you can tell me from this equation, we know that this is r squared. So if r squared equals 125, right? This equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. The radius of the circle is approximately equal to 11.2. What else can you tell me about the circle? Yep.
It passes through the origin.
Yes, excellent. The center of the circle is at 0, 0. It has to pass through the origin, and we know that if the radius is 11.2, then can you tell me four points of the circle? 11.2, 0. Another one? What's another coordinate? 0, negative 11.2. What else? What would this point be? Negative 11.2, 0. And then this point would be 0, 11.2. Wow. We are trying to show that a perpendicular bisector of chord AB. So we have our A and we have our B. What is a chord? This is a chord. What is the definition of a chord? Yep.
A line.
It's a line segment, so it's a line that connects any 2 points on the circumference of a circle. That does not pass through the center, okay? A chord cannot pass through the center, but it just connects 2 points on the circumference of a circle. We have to show that the perpendicular bisector of that chord passes through the center of the circle. So we have to figure out what is the equation of a line that's perpendicular. You can go. It's a perpendicular bisector. So what does that mean if it's a bisector? If it bisects, it's a bisector of AB. What does that mean, to bisect? It cuts to the midpoint. So we know we have to find the midpoint of AB. Then we have to find the equation of a line that is perpendicular to AB. So once we find the midpoint of AB, then what do we have to find? We have to find the slope of AB because we're trying to find an equation of a line that's perpendicular to that. Does that make sense? How do you find an equation of the line? Y equals mx plus b. But this question says find the equation of a perpendicular bisector that passes through the center of the circle. So we have to also make sure that B is equal to 0. So those are the steps. I want you to try that on your own. Right? We're trying to figure out an equation of a line that has 6, -3 as one of the coordinates, but the slope has to be perpendicular. It has to be a negative reciprocal of AB. So we need to find the slope of AB, right? Because I know that the slope of this line has to be a negative reciprocal. So find the slope of AB. What were the coordinates? So it would be -11 minus 5. 2 minus 10 equals -16 over -8. Slope is, the slope of AB is +2. So what's the slope of the blue line? What does it have to be? Okay, so we're almost done. We just have to prove that the equation of the blue line passes through the center of the circle. So we have to prove that B is equal to 0.
So then we
Plug in the coordinates. Plug in your x, plug in your y, plug in your m into your equation of a line, and see if B is equal to 0. Okay, prove it. Okay, so m was -1/2. You're just going to plug everything in. Y was -3. M is -1/2. X is 6/1 plus B. -6/2 plus B. -3 equals -3 plus B. -3 plus 3 equals B. Therefore, B is equal to 0. So the equation of the line is -1/2x plus 0. So we know from this equation that yes, it passes through the center of the circle. Yes, it's perpendicular to the chord. And that's it. It bisects the chord.